What's going on, guys? I know the last handful of videos have been about the LS off of my Jeep Wrangler, and that has been a ton of fun, but it's time to get around to the Charger mods I've been talking about. So today there are three mods I want to get done. The first one I want to talk about are the new set of tires I have on here. I've got the Atturo AZ850s that I've been running them for 5 months, and I've got about 10,000 miles on them. So funny thing is that this video actually started 5 months ago, so I'm going to throw it back in time just a little bit. As it sits right now, it is completely bone stock, and that's because I wanted to test it out on the street and test it out on the track as it comes off the lot and kind of see what areas of improvement it needs. So today we're going to be testing, or kind of like figuring out if a budget-friendly performance tire will actually help this car's performance. So the stock tires that are on there right now, it's a set of Goodyears. They let loose anytime I get on the gas, okay? This car puts out 485 horsepower and they're just not cutting it. So we're going to be putting on a brand new set of Atturo AZ850s today. These things are over an inch wider and they are a softer, stickier tire. So I think they are going to really help this car grip right off of the bat. So first things first, let's get to a tire shop and put these new tires on the Charger. All right, guys, got the tires mounted. We have a lot to talk about. However, it is Saturday night. The track is open, so we are going to take this thing out to the track tonight and see how these tires perform. So let's go. In tonight, and 2 of those runs had a 12.2 time. I'm honestly pretty happy with those numbers. This car is still completely stock except for the upgraded Atturo tires, which are about an inch, a little over an inch wider. So 12.2, I'm pretty happy with those numbers. So let's head back home and continue with the video. Now the best way to test performance is to take it out to the track. So I've got 2 sets of time slips here. This set is from when I was running my stock tires. I ran a 12.6 at best and then a 12.8. However, I went out another time where the car timer was working, but the time slips were not, and it said 12.3, but these are going to be more accurate. So I'm going with 12.6 at best on stock tires. Over here, I've got my slips from when I was running the Atturos. I ran consistently at 12.2 both times, although I had a couple of other runs, but 12.2 is the best one I got back to back. Now, why do these tires actually perform better? 2 things. It's gonna be the tread design, but also the hardness or the softness of the compound of the tire. So I've got a durometer over here that's gonna measure the softness of this tire. The stock tire is measured around 10, and these are probably gonna measure softer because they grip much better. Around
6.5.
6.5. Let's try one more time. So it looks like it's about 6. That's where it's settling at, which means this is definitely a softer tire. Now, one of the other major differences between the stock tires and these Atturos is that the on-road performance is so much better. With the stock tires, the tires would let loose a lot when you got on the gas, and in the rain, it was even worse. Like, they would just spin out from under you every single time. You had to be really careful driving in the rain. But the Atturos, it definitely grips better, like, and not in the rain, just when you're getting on it on the road, and it's much easier to drive in the rain as well. So these are very popular among like the Charger community and all the forums and Facebook groups and everything. I definitely recommend them. Throw these tires in the link below. Check them out if you're interested. As I mentioned, I'm doing a couple of upgrades in this video. Tires were a big one, so I wanted to do that one first. Next, I'm going to be upgrading my headlights. So from the factory, this car did not come with LED headlights. Now, whether you have a performance car or a commuter car, an off-road vehicle, you can definitely benefit from upgrading to an LED light. So I have gone with the AZ850s LED headlights. They got them off of Amazon. They were 60 bucks and they had really good reviews, and a lot of Dodge Charger owners have also put these on their car and they really, really like them. So I'm going to test them out myself and give them a shot. Now, when you're getting LED headlights, keep in mind you don't want an LED light that's going to scatter all over the place and blind oncoming drivers. I've already got a shot of what the stock headlights were like. I'm going to test these out and see what these look like after we install them. So getting these on the car, it's gonna be pretty simple. It's gonna be a plug and play. The headlights are right here on both sides, obviously, but this this is where the bulb's gonna be. So I'm gonna have to go back behind here to get this one in. But on the driver's side, I'm gonna have to take the air box off to get to the headlight on this side. And while the air box is out, I'm actually going to be upgrading that. So I will talk about that a little bit later. Now inside of the box, it comes with, let's see if I can open it with one hand. It comes with obviously a manual, got some extra zip ties and O-rings in here. And then also has the LED bulb and then what looks like an anti-flicker harness is what I'm guessing that is. But it will literally be a plug and play. This is not the easiest thing to film, so I'm just taking the cover off where the headlight is. We're gonna unplug the connector and then twist out the headlight. It's pretty simple. Voila, got it. Here's the factory bulb. Here's the new LED bulb. Let's put it in and see what it looks like. Got the headlight plugged in, but before I put it in the socket, I wanna make sure it actually works. So I'm gonna press the unlock button. Woo! Yep,
That's right.
It works. Oh, that's crazy. You can hear the little fan running to keep the light cool. I don't know if you can hear it on the GoPro. We probably can. Got the headlight twisted in, but I can tell it's a little looser than the stock one. So if it starts moving around, I might have to go with a different headlight, but I will test that out when I'm actually driving around. Real quick test to see if we can see a difference. All right, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but this one is definitely brighter just looking at this real quick. Now it's time to go ahead and get the airbox off and start working on the driver's side. All right, got the airbox off. Time to check out what we're gonna be putting in instead. Basically, I'm gonna repeat the same steps for the driver's side headlight, but I wanna talk about the intake real quick. Over here, I have two intakes, or lower parts of the airbox. I've got the Scat Pack one that I just took off, and I have the Hellcat one. So the Hellcat airbox is a popular upgrade to do because it is a bit larger, so it allows for more volume. If you can tell right here, it kind of slopes on the side, where over here, it angles off and cuts it off. So it allows for more volume, but it also has a hole right here, so when you put it in, it allows for a tube to come through the front, like a snorkel, come through, and it comes out in this opening, so it allows for more like a ram air type system. I'm not going to be doing that today because it would require me to drop the entire front bumper, and I don't have time for that, but I will be doing that in the future because the ultimate goal is going to be upgrading to an aftermarket cold air intake. So I will be doing that soon. But with this Hellcat airbox, I will have a good kind of like a baseline to be able to compare stock to the to the Hellcat airbox intake to the aftermarket cold air intake. So it'll be kind of like a cool comparison to have all three. I am also going to be throwing in tonight a K&N air filter. So let's get going. Not that dirty for almost like 25,000 miles on it already. All right, guys, so this next install is literally just for looks. Don't laugh at me because it actually looks really good. I'm going to be installing a fresh set of exhaust tips, okay? Now, they actually look really good on the Chargers. They're huge too. It's like a 5-inch exhaust tip. They have no function or there's literally no reason for this other than for what they look like, but they look really good, and don't hate me, it's kind of silly, they cost $200.
Do they sound good?
Blah, 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 blah. Okay, it might make an echo, I don't know, I'm gonna test out the sound too, but impulse buy $200, I'm gonna get the car turned around so I can throw these in real quick. Luckily, these are super simple to install. You loosen the factory exhaust clamp, pull the old factory tip off, and put the new one on. So here's a comparison of the stock ones to the new ones. These are the carbon exhaust tips. They feel pretty similar in weight. I would say maybe it's a little heavier, but it's not that much. They are much larger. I'm interested to see if it makes a sound difference because I feel like this would have to be better. Have to make like a louder noise, right?
Echoes a little bit.
Yeah, so let's get both of these on and fire her up. So check it out. Here's the stock one. It is much smaller. It doesn't really fill in this whole rear area, right? And then you come over to the carbon one. 5 inches, it looks so much better. Up close and then even far away, you can definitely tell a difference between these two, and this one just looks much better. I think it was $200 well spent. All right, none of these upgrades were crazy big, but sometimes it's the small projects that are just as much fun to do. Now I have a video here of the stock headlights. They are more yellow, you can't see as far out, and they're just a little harder on my eyes. With the LEDs, it gives off more of that white light. It reaches out much further, and I just kind of like driving with that one better at night. So overall, I'm happy with the headlights. Now I'm going to hop in the car now and kind of just go find something fun to do. Probably gonna go do some burnouts or something. I don't know, we're gonna find out. And in the back here, check out the exhaust tips. They give it more of like that meaner, angrier type look. I'm satisfied with those, and I really do think it kind of makes the exhaust just a little bit louder. So let's get in the car and go find something fun to do. Okay, I'm kicking Ben out of the car. I'm gonna do a 0 to 60 test real quick. See what the number is. I have a 5.3, I guess was my most recent, which I can definitely beat that. It's not the greatest 0 to 60 times, so let's see what I can do. 4.6.
4.4. Cassie was starting to get cranky because she was only getting 4.5s. Little Miss Cranky Pants.
I was getting a little kind of cranky today.
All right, so you got 4.4, now get a 4.3.
All right, let's try this one more time.
You gonna get the 4.3?
I'm gonna get the 4.3 with you in the car, and
There
the car seats, and all the kids' toys and stuff.
A little burnout, okay. Nice brakes. You slam them. 4.4.
Serious? 4.4 was the best I could get tonight for a 0 to 60 time, and I'll take it. That is about all I've got for this video, guys. Coming up, I have more Charger upgrades, and there are also going to be more track nights now that summer is coming around. As always, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and my name's Cassie, and keep Jeeping classy.